Building wellness habits with my child. Affirmations, relationship building questions and activities, and healthy habits for parents and caregivers to promote positive identity, stress management, and wellness discussions, specifically mental wellness discussions with Indigenous children and youth. My name's Andrea Delaney, and I'm mixed ancestry settler Canadian and Anishinaabe, and a proud member of Aamjiwnaang First Nation. I have 16 years of work experience in the area of child and youth mental health promotion and wellness, and I have 2 children ages 10 and 6 who are also members of Aamjiwnaang. This video about building healthy habits as a family is the first in a series in a collaborative effort between School Mental Health Ontario and First Peoples Wellness Circle. Extensive consultations were done with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit parents and caregivers across Ontario to find out what information, tools, and resources would be helpful and how they would like to receive the information. In this series, you will find suggestions for specific wording and practices that you can actually say and actually do with your child or youth to reduce barriers and stigma around mental health discussions, so that when challenges occur, they will feel better able and more comfortable to speak with you about it and seek help. Indigenous people from every nation, community, and family in Ontario have beautiful cultures, strengths, and resilience. Another truth, unfortunately, is the legacy of historical trauma. The ongoing effects of trauma can be so deeply embedded into our family circles that we don't even realize that we've received intergenerational transfer and may be transferring maladaptive coping mechanisms, or in other words, unhealthy ways of dealing with stress, onto the next generation. Examples of these trauma behaviors could be unhealthy relationships, using substances, or other self-harming ways to deal with pain, grief, and other triggering stresses. I want to say it's important to be kind to ourselves as Indigenous parents and understanding to others in our communities, our parents, our grandparents, and the previous generations, because we and they can only deal with stress and traumatic events or intergenerational trauma in the ways that we have figured out, trying to protect ourselves. We only know what we've seen modeled for us and what we've been taught. The goal of this webinar is to discuss culturally relevant, healthy health promotion behaviors and to think about how we can include them into our daily family routines so that they become the habits and the norms by which we live and thrive, and we pass on to the next generation. Traumatic experiences can negatively affect child brain development, particularly in the fear center of the brain. And that means they could be at risk for problems with self-regulation, decision-making, memory, and stress management. But this is not a definitive outcome. There's a lot that we can do as parents and caregivers to buffer the effects of intergenerational traumas, including supporting mental health, providing secure attachments and strong relationships as caring adults, spending time on the land and fostering a sense of cultural identity, cultivating a mindful cultural practice, for example, smudging or praying, and affirming them to build positive thought patterns and self-esteem. The next few slides will be exactly how to do this. Healthy family habits can promote wellness for the next generation. Some habits promote physical wellness, for example, brushing your teeth before bed, or eating healthy foods and exercising. Other habits are relational, eating dinner together as a family as much as you can, giving your loved ones a good morning hug or a kiss when you pick them up from school, and nurturing positive social connections, building a community, and attending a spiritual or religious place. Our daily habits determine the quality of our lives, and well-being is a balance of spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. A person needs hope for the future and within their families. This is grounded in a strong sense of identity, cultural values, and belief in themselves. The affirmation to foster a sense of hope. You are my greatest gift from the Creator. You carry many gifts. You cannot say this affirmation too much. The more it's repeated, the more that your child or youth hears an affirmation, the more of that hope will be instilled into their beliefs, values, and identity, and create positive, hopeful thought patterns. here is a relationship building suggestion. Let's spend some time outside. Spending time outside is a healthy habit and activity because spending time in natural areas is known to have a positive effect on mood, stress, and physical health. And spending time on the land that is connected to your unique Indigenous culture is strengthening to your spirit. If you are not able to access your traditional territory, a healthy habit can be as simple as finding a green space in your neighborhood or even natural elements like being near a water fountain or a splash pad and just spending quality time together, making sure you're being present in the moment to get the most benefits and relationship building. Sense of belonging and connectedness to the family, those that love them, to community and culture. An affirming statement that you can say to help them grow into strong, self-confident people who know that their families and network are here for them when they need it is, there are so many people who love you. Letting them know that there are so many people who love them in their family and community, and reminding them that we are all connected in a big web or this network across the world that extends to animals, plants, and spirits. And that means that you're part of this network. You have so many people that you impact that you don't even realize. So you're meant to be here, and this world would not be the same without you in it. Relationship building question to ask your child or teen is, what makes them feel the most connected in that sense of belonging? When or what actions? I asked my daughter this question and I gave her some ideas, and she said immediately it was physical touch, and she gave me a little hug on my arm. Now, that's not my natural way of connecting, so now I consciously remind myself when we're reading or I'm tucking her into bed to provide that comforting hand, and I will always ask her for her permission to touch and comfort her that way, even though she identified that was her wish or her need. But when you ask for permission, may I massage your back, and then wait for their consent, you're building that trusting relationship even more. Whatever they say as their answer to this question, try to build it into your routine by pairing it with an action that you're already doing so that it becomes a natural habit. I gave the example of putting my daughter to bed and reading with her, and then building in that comforting touch when we're together. If it's when they feel heard and listened to or praised, or if they say it's when they get to listen to your stories and get to ask you as many questions as they want, make it part of your dinner routine or your drive to hockey practice with your youth. Part of bath time is to check in with your child. A sense of meaning and understanding of the world around them and how they fit into it. That they are part of this beautiful legacy with a rich history and a bright future. Affirm to them that they are capable of achieving their biggest and wildest dreams. If they can dream about it, they can achieve it. As parents and caregivers, we are role models for our children, who are the reflections of our most important values and culture. A great way to encourage self-regulation, self-care, and compassion is to model these behaviors in our own actions. Our children watch us carefully, and they observe how we engage or how we speak about their school, how we care for ourselves, and live our values every day. What does that mean? So as a role model to them, demonstrate for them self-regulation. In those moments when you're so frustrated, they're frustrated, and the conversation is just not productive anymore, stop, say, let's take a moment to reset and do something that recharges you so you can address that situation, the conflict, or whatever it is, again, later with a clear and calm mind. It could be taking deep, calming breaths, smudging, taking a quick walk outside. It could be taking time apart, but it's really important for them to see you self-regulate and to participate so that you're co-regulating with them and providing them the opportunity to practice dealing with stress or conflict in a healthy way, and showing them how to calm down and make a decision and communicate effectively. A positive psychology habit that shows many benefits, including restructuring your brain to see positives all around you, is a gratitude practice. This may be a relatively new scientific discovery, but Indigenous people have had giving thanks protocols and practices since time immemorial. If you can, build in a Thanksgiving address once a week, or say what you're grateful for before bed, or at breakfast, or at dinner. Always go first as the role model to help build that sense of meaning, show them that there's always something to be grateful for, and express gratitude for. Even if dinner is canned spaghetti and you wish it was homemade, but you just didn't have time that day, show gratitude that you have dinner on the table and people who you get to share it with. Building a sense of purpose through cultural ways of being and doing, education, socializing, following their strengths and gifts to find passion, giving back to the community, and in the future through employment. Purpose provides a wholeness to a person's life. Affirm to them, you carry the resilience and strengths of our ancestors. All of these affirmations together are saying that they have gifts, they are loved, they are capable, and they are strong. This relationship building question, what things or situations cause you stress? At home, with friends, at school? This question is meant to open a dialogue with your child, to explore their feelings, the things that cause them stress, and to understand that unfortunately stressors do exist. But when they talk about them to us, you can help them to figure out what they can do about it. Through these conversations, they'll build an understanding that they have tools, agency, rights, and responsibilities. When they speak and share their answers to this question about stressors, listen closely and focus on them without looking at your phone, without multitasking. Face them, look at them, and listen to understand. Consider their feelings and take their worries and their challenges seriously. This will make them feel seen and heard, and it'll help build their self-worth and personal power. If they're facing challenges right now, for example, with their peers, you can encourage them to take positive actions, but you don't have to have all the right answers. All of these relationship building habits are laying the groundwork for talking about and dealing with mental health issues together. These practices are showing them that you care about their feelings, you care about what makes them feel connected, what makes them feel stressed. Through your calm and thoughtful responses, you're showing them that you can handle it if they share their struggles with you. This foundation will be important in the future if they do struggle with mental health challenges. They'll know that you won't be mad, you won't overreact, that you'll accept them, you'll listen, take it seriously, and ultimately they will feel better when they talk to you. Never forget, we have so many strengths in our cultures that teach us about wellness, and in our families and communities who can help us to know what's right for us and our kids.